So went to a festival up here, can't remember exactly what one it was. Had these bad batch of pingers, obviously ate them, and then just same thing, bro. Just everything was full paranoia.
Yep.
Just everything and everything.
Yep.
You know, or that's a cop car, or this is that, or just, bro, every
don't
single
mean to laugh,
fucking... No, it's funny now looking at it because I'm clear and sober, and I'll never ever fucking do
and
that
I laugh
shit
because I resignate. That's why, like,
Yeah, so everything just, that's just how it felt, you know? Just every single thing you did, whatever. And then I remember getting back down to home eventually, and you're just full wigging out. Like, yeah. And then I got home that night. I drove all the way home, but I just thought people were after me, or just everything was a setup, or, you know, just full paranoia.
Yep.
Got home. I remember getting home and getting inside, and I went and grabbed a fucking huge knife, bro.
Yep.
And I sat with my back how it is now against the front door, so knowing if someone had tried to enter, like, I would get put for it, but I just sat there. You know, you take it at that age and think you're fucking invincible.
Yep.
You add 5-10 years to that shit, and you get into your late 20s or mid 20s, and this shit happens, or if it happens earlier or later, you won't be fucking laughing then. You won't think it's cool.
Guys, take this, especially a lot of young people watch these podcasts too, bro. Take this as an eye opener and a warning too, bro, because we are two blokes that clearly have experienced the depths of fucking drugs and what they can do to you. Yeah, it's real shit, bro. Fucking oath, you know. When you're stuck in a psychosis, a drug-induced psychosis, no matter what you're seeing, it could be fucking the most fucking stupidest thing. Yeah. But it is so real up here, eh? Welcome back, guys. Episode 7 of the Tonksy Media Podcast. I've got a very, very, very special guest coming on today. This bloke has come from a very destructive drug and alcohol-fueled past to a fucking amazing transformation. If you'd like to introduce yourself, brother.
Thanks, bro. I'm KPhit, or AKA Kieran. And yeah, thanks for having me sit down with you tonight, bro.
So that's how you pronounce your last name?
Yeah, Piniha. Yeah, Māori.
Māori is there, righto. So Māori background, bro.
Yeah,
so tell us a bit about that. So, you know, you're a bit of a Māori background. Are you born there, or like
No, born here. Dad obviously come over, and he's been here ever since.
Your old boy's Māori, obviously.
Yeah, so he's full. Mum's Aussie.
Yep.
So yeah, Dad come over, met Mum, and then later had me, and so culture for it was a lot different, like born here, and then from young, like 0 even, going back over to Dad's home, you know, and it's a lot different to the Aussie culture. Yeah. Family, everyone's auntie, everyone's uncle. Yeah, 100%. This is your cousin, blah, blah, blah. But
funny you say that, because I'm from Tassie, bro, and they say Tassie and the NZ are fairly similar, you know, like... Yeah. But then my old boy was with a Māori lady for fucking the best part of half of my life. So full blood Māori lady. Shout out Deb. She watches all the podcasts. But, you know, I look at her just as much love as I look at my old lady, you know. So, but I definitely know the Māori culture, the hungies around Christmas time, all that sort of shit, brother. It's a beautiful culture, if you ask me.
Yeah, 100%.
So, brother, let's get stuck into this story, eh? Yeah. So, give us a bit of a rundown on your childhood, where you were born, you know, sort of a bit on your upbringing and stuff, and we'll kick off from there, bro.
Yeah, sweet. So, I was born in Tweed Heads, South. We first lived, though, at Palm Beach. So, Mum and Dad had a joint at the back of Palmy, or like Eleonora.
Yep.
Then, still when I was obviously very young, moved to Tweed. And then, grew up around there for pretty much my whole life until I bought my joint up at Burleigh, which over the last 2 or 3 years ago. Yeah. But always been up and down the coastal lines and stuff like that.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, and childhood, it was good, bro. It was good. I had a good childhood. Very sporty, like trying to do anything to get out of school.
Yeah.
But now looking at it, I wish I learnt more there. Because now being in my 30s, I try to learn a lot, you know.
Yeah, as we do. I was the same, you know. Yeah. Like when you say sporty, what sort of sports and that were you into, bro?
Just everything. Yeah. Everything, bro. Anything I could get out of school for, but mostly played rugby league growing up. I actually started with soccer, then went into league from under 9s to 18s.
Yep.
Played union as well, and then just everything touch.
Yep.
Softball.
Yeah, nice.
Little athletics.
Yep.
You know, just doing any sport at school for the school stuff to get out of it.
Yep.
But then, you know, those sort of change around your teenage years, what it did for me.
Yep.
It started with drinking, 13, and then everything else slowly creeps in.
Yep.
And then
dig into that a little bit, bro.
Yeah, so from there, you know, we started high school, and I actually went to first school was a private high school because I got a scholarship for union. Oh, so I was training union Monday and Wednesdays, and then league Tuesday, Thursday arvos, and I was playing union Saturday morning and league Saturday arvo. So I started there in year 7. My grades were real shit because I was just doing full sport, and then around that time started, you know, staying at mates' houses that parents were probably a bit more lenient than mine.
Yep.
You know, you have a bit more freedom, and start going to, I guess they were parties, but they were a lot older lads than us or whoever was having them.
Yep.
Start drinking, and slowly introduced the billies, and
it starts.
And
you know, I that's another, as we spoke about before we jumped on the potty, like with addictions and shit like that, you know. Billy, so I've never had a problem with them, bro. I smoked a lot of them as a teenager and stuff, and even still to this day, I'll have a bit of a chuff here and there. But it's like it's one of them things, brother. If I have a chuff, it's once I'm home because I will not leave that fucking door, you know.
Yeah.
But it makes me paranoid and shit. But it's at the same time too, bro. It's not like that for a lot of people, eh? No. Like it can it's the gateway to a lot of. As you're clearly about to talk about, you know, gateway to fucking a lot of other nastier sort of shit, eh?
Yeah, 100%. But at that age too, you're not, like your brain's not even fully, you know, your brain's not fully adapted to its full growth or anything like that.
That's right.
So smoke at 13, you don't want to be at home.
Nah, that's right.
You know what I mean? You want to be with the boys, whatever, doing whatever.
Yep.
You know, 14, same thing. And then the sport starts going, or, you know, you can't be fucked. You still have to go there. You know?
Yep.
And then you want to do that other shit, but, you know, and then the billies, same thing, you're leading into gateway. So you're drinking, and you start smoking, weed, whatever, ciggies, whatever, and it, you know, me then, I'm not saying it's cool now.
Yep.
I'm not going to judge anyone on whatever they fucking choose to do. But back then, it was like cool.
It was, bro. You weren't cool if you didn't smoke ciggies
or you know, any of that stuff, you know. And looking back on it now, I really take my hat off to a lot of the lads that didn't come to parties or didn't do that shit, would say no to whatever. All their parents were very strict that they didn't even get a chance to do certain things like that.
Yeah.
And you know, they might have thought back then, oh, fuck, I wish I could go out with them or wish I could do this. But I'm telling you right now that, you know, I don't know what their past have led to now, but I'm telling you that shit's... like, it ain't cool.
No.
There's that many fuck stories from, you know, suicides, drug overdoses, lads going to jail, you know, getting your kids taken off you. It just never ends. And unfortunately, it's majority men that this happens to that we're controlled by.
Yeah, 100%.
And so trying to get back to that point of the youth, you know, that might start with drinking.
Yeah.
Might start with the ciggies or the vapes nowadays or whatever.
Yeah, see, they weren't even around it when we were kids, eh? It was fucking just the ciggies, bro. The $10 a packet, you know what I mean? Yeah.
So,
but, wow, bro.
That's like, the key thing. And I'm not saying that you should or shouldn't hang out with certain people, but at that age, you're really vulnerable to what decision you make because it's a very hard period. I personally think from 14 to 17, 18, depending on what you're doing with your life, especially anyone involved in sport, it's a very crucial part because you have the party and you have, you know, girls, you know, you're getting into that puberty age or whatever.
Yeah, starting to sleep around and shit like that.
Yeah, and if you're wanting to lock in to make something in sport or anything, there's a lot of things that can pull you in different ways.
Yeah, definitely.
I know a lot of lads that were very fucking good at sport.
Yep.
Very, very good. What happened?
Yeah. We're locked up in jail or they're fucking
drugs,
fucked somewhere.
All that shit, bro. And now, you know, then those stories happen as you get older. Oh, it was so good. You know, I was fucking gun footy player, this or that.
Yep.
It died, not even on the field, because they were fucking good.
Yeah.
Everyone I knew was good at something. The dreams died in the fucking, you know, on the pipe or fucking whatever it was.
You know what? Like just you saying that right there, man. And I'm sure Joel, my little brother, will hear this, bro, but perfect example, you know what I mean? He's had so much fucking talent, you know, getting looked at from fucking AFL sides and shit, because obviously down south it's all AFL, you know, there's no rugby or nothing down there, but same deal, brother. Same as myself as well, you know. I was never ever at that top notch fucking with my sport and that, but I was always pretty sporty, you know, like a black belt in taekwondo and shit like that, and like I said, a bit of boxing and that, but my little brother, mate, he absolute gun on the footy field, bro. And he's a tall kid too. He played ruck and straight down the centre, you know, so he was always that goal kicker and, you know, always getting looked at by the big sides and shit. But unfortunately, you know, it fucking took him away too. Like,
and we're just thinking about that. Fucking takes the ice and that, takes whatever. It takes fucking souls.
Yeah, that's right.
And it's.
When did you start to experience and that with the heavier shit, bro? And sort of give us a bit of a timeline.
So, back to then. So 13, you know, I started drinking, darts, whatever. Slowly, actually, that was the same time too. Around the billies, I had my first billy, and it was actually it was a ghosty. So someone had fucking pulled the big bong and left the smoke in there.
Oh yeah.
And I fucking had that. And I think I was 13, might have just been 14. And I remember I was on skateboard at the time, skating down a hill, stoned as. Went 7-Eleven.
Oh, yeah.
Got 4 donuts. Just, I didn't know what was going on. I just want to eat. And then, from there, you know, started, you know, actually smoking myself and smoking with lads and stuff. And then it's probably about 16. Yeah, probably at 16 and stuff, started dabbling in pingers. Pingers were a massive thing.
Fucking huge, Tassie too, bro. Yeah.
Massive here for ages.
Yep.
You know.
All the good ones back then too. You got your mate halves in one, brother, and you've been fucking fucked up for the night. You know, off half a pinger, you know. Yeah.
So dabbled in them for a while, bro, and then, eventually timeline, you know, 17, 18. And to be honest, MD wasn't massive then, you know, in like buying grams or whatever
look, as a substance itself, it was all in the pingers.
All in pingers. So that was like a huge run for it. And I had some really bad ones as well. Yeah. Fucking put me in psychosis and shit, and I'm not sure if you're aware what psychosis is, bro.
Brother, I know the depth of it, trust me.
It made me feel sick, bro, because it's a very fucking nasty thing to be in, and knowing now that we put ourselves in that from a substance. It's your own fault.
Yep.
Like you put that in there wanting to escape or whatever the fuck it was you took that thing
you
for.
Got your fucking escape all right.
And so there was a few bad ones that I had of that where psychosis really bad.
Can you I haven't really had anybody, I've spoken about psychosis so many times on these podcasts, you know, and it was me being one that, like, even right up until my last relapse, bro, as soon as I have it, I instantly go into that psychosis mode. Just, it's like within the first 15 minutes of have it, you know what I mean? And you know, when I say psychosis, I mean like I'm on my fucking stomach, looking under the curtains and sort of
full paranoia.
I've never really spoke on a podcast about it though. So are you able to sort of give it a bit of an explanation on exactly what it is and what your experiences were?
Yeah, one particularly. The whole scenario. So went to a festival up here, can't remember exactly what one it was, had these bad batch of pingers, obviously ate them, and then just same thing, bro, just everything was full paranoia.
Yep.
Just everything.
Yep.
you know, or that's a cop car, or this is that, or just, bro, every
don't mean to
single
laugh,
fucking... No, it's funny now looking at it because I'm clear and sober, and I'll never, ever fucking do
and I laugh because I resignate. That's why, like, Yeah,
so everything just... That's just how it felt, you know? Just every single thing you did, whatever. And then I remember getting back down to home eventually, and you're just full wigging out. Like, and then I got home that night. I drove all the way home, but I just thought people were after me, or just everything was a setup, or, you know, just full paranoia. Got home. I remember getting home and getting inside, and I went and grabbed a fucking huge knife, bro. And I sat with my back how it is now against the front door, so knowing if someone had tried to enter, like, I would get pushed for. But I just sat there. Know what happened? Because I was still, what do I mean, 18 at that time. So Dad had got up to play golf on whatever morning that was. Must have been Sunday, whatever it was. He come back early from the AMs from the festival. He got up for golf and seeing me sitting there, bro, with this knife. And he's like, "What are you doing? Go to bed, cunt," you know."
Yeah. Was he aware that you was using pingers and that, or?
Yeah, they're my parents. Pretty much know everything, bro. I've been pretty open, honest, and plus they had seen a lot of the mental health side of things being there. Also doing a lot of fuck shit at home growing up. But yeah, that was a huge one, and I had to try like sleep it off or whatever. But then some of the other ones too lasted not just that 24 hours, or not just from that, you know, period from taking that drug. Went on for a couple of months, sometimes too. Yeah, wow. Just paranoid as fuck about every little thing.
And is this like mainly off pingers?
That was a real bad batch for me back then. That was that. And then my mental health was already shit as well. I was in the mental health system, you know, getting diagnosed with schizophrenia. So that's probably a big indication of why, you know, being schizophrenic and having paranoid schizophrenia or
schizophrenia. They reckon like cases of psychosis are almost equivalent to, you know, a schizophrenic person. Like,
triggers to that,
the voices and the shit, thoughts and all that.
So I think all that in one, and that was really scary. Like looking back on that now, because I'm not medicated anymore, and me and Sol talked about that off air, about now where I am looking back on that. A lot of all that shit, all that fucked mental health, all that shit that went on is from drugs. I wasn't that person, but then getting medicated, because I used to get jabbed for like schizophrenia, so I had injections for it. They were just trying to block this true me, but I wasn't letting this new me, who I am now, as this person, energetic, fucking, you know what I mean?
Which we will get into.
They were trying to block it, you know what I mean? In a sense, but I was blocking it by fueling myself with everything and anything that you could get your hands on.
It's just a vicious cycle
of life, bro, and it was fucked.
Wow.
From there, you know, speed was a huge thing too.
The old school.
A lot of the lads were cooking that up and went through that as well, and it's almost like in stages, you know? So it was like weed, drinking weed, drinking pingers, drinking speed, drinking coke, drinking you know? And that's just... And it just went on that, and you go on benders for fucking 4 or 5 days, whatever it was.
Yeah, fuck, bro.
It makes me feel sick, bro. I fucking honestly hate talking about it now. And
I appreciate you talking about it too, bro.
But it's a scary thing if people think that it's
a awareness
joke.
Too. You know?
Think that it is a joke, that this shit, like, you take it at that age and think you're fucking invincible. You add 5-10 years to that shit, and you get into your late 20s or mid 20s. And this shit happens, or if it happens earlier or later, you won't be fucking laughing then. You won't think it's cool.
Guys, take this, especially a lot of young people watch these podcasts too, bro. Take this as an eye-opener and a warning too, bro, because we are two blokes that clearly have experienced the depths of fucking drugs and what they can do to you, you know? So, it's real shit, bro. Fucking oath, you know? And when you're stuck in a psychosis, a drug-induced psychosis, no matter what you're seeing, it could be fucking the most fucking stupidest thing. But it is so real up here, eh? It's like, you know, You mentioned too that you you went on to fucking the speed and then eventually the ice.
Yeah.
Talk us through your experiences with that, bro, if you don't mind.
The speed or
from
there
on,
yeah. So around the time, so all that's you just like they're overlapping, yeah.
Of course.
The drugs are going thingo, and then it was around the time when I OD'd. So I was 21. I overdosed. That was a few days after my 21st. And
what on?
Well, that night we're mixing everything.
Oh, yeah.
So pingers, pipes,
Yep.
speed, whatever, smoking speed,
Yep.
whatever. But the thing that dropped me, which I still don't know to this day, is, but I think it was H.
Oh, yeah, righto.
But I had a spoonful of it.
Yep.
Or the end of a spoon of it or
Yep.
whatever.
Yep.
Still didn't know then what it was. Everyone there had
probably
some.
like a couple of points or something.
So everyone there had some. My ex at the time too. So everyone had some, and then I started doing weird shit that I don't usually fucking do. Started stroking my mate's face and just doing weird shit.
Yep.
And even she was like, what are you doing? And then he sort of got up, said, does anyone want more? And everyone was like, no, I'm fucked. We've been eating heaps of pingers, smoking pipes, doing all that, drinking as well. And I dumbly was just fucked out of my head anyway. And then I sort of went like that, put the spoon in the bag, and I was just like, he's like, do you want more? And I must have just went like that. A little bit more, bro, hit me and bang, out.
Straight out.
Out, bro.
Yeah.
And then everyone else is fucked, yeah? So my mate's missus rang at Ambo. She was the only one that was just able enough to fucking call. And yeah, so I'm speaking in third person now because I'm dead on the ground or convulsing, whatever.
Yep.
Yeah, Ambo comes, pick me up, take me to hospital, 3 days coma.
Wow, fuck.
And yeah, so after that, you get a fucking wake up call, yeah?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, you probably should stop. Week 2 goes by, everyone's sort of like, oh, you should be careful. Bang, another 5, 6, 7 years just sending it or whatever.
Yep.
And yeah, with the pipe was around that time too. That missus I was talking about, ex.
Yep.
That's all we did, bro. I was going away for work, so 10 days on, 4 days off.
Yep.
Whole 4 days home, up.
Yep.
I'll be spewing on the toilet, bro, trying to, I got to fly out the next day. Hadn't eaten, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Just up for 4 days with her, rooting, whatever you do, you know what it's like.
Yep.
And then having to go back to work for 10 days. I'm very grateful, not saying to do any of that shit, but I'm very grateful I had a FIFO job to fly back away.
And get away from it.
Yeah, bro.
Yep. Fair enough. 100%.
I'm very, very grateful in that sense. But it didn't stop anything because I was going to get money, good money to come back and do the same fucking thing.
Yeah.
And we were just doing that. You're up all night and you see different shit. Now I'm up at that time I'm doing good shit. But back then you're just up doing whatever.
100%, bro. Yeah, I definitely resonate with you, bro. 100%. I don't know how many fucking jobs, bro, that I just give up on and shit, being high and just. Fuck, I started flipping a bit of it, making more money than I'm making at work. So fuck work, it's just evil, bro, And I know, I love nothing more than being clean, bro, and being strong-minded and being motivated and all the rest, Yeah. But there's something in me that loves to do podcasts and hear other people's stories and stuff, if you watch back on mine, I've got a whole range of people that I've interviewed, bro, with similar sort of stories to us, and it's just, I don't know, it's not, I hate talking about it too in a way, but also it's like I get a fucking hit out of it in a way, do you know what I mean? Like it's by, hearing other people's stories. And but it's,
It's because like you're from Tassie, right? And then where everyone else is from though, even around the same age, it's all similar, very similar stories.
Yep.
In a sense.
Yeah. Around the same sort of years
and the same sense. And there's a lot of guys that probably never get to be on a podcast too.
Yep.
That have similar stories, if not wilder, if not, less, whatever.
They're still stuck in it.
Stuck in that shit, bro. And that's why now, I know after all that shit, and I just said before, ice was my favourite fucking drug. By far. It's a soul-snatching fucking drug. Mm-hmm. My favourite. But I'm telling you right now, there is no fucking drug in the world that I've tried yet. I haven't tried every single thing. Obviously, there's fucking more now than probably ever.
Yeah.
There's nothing, no drug that would give me a high or has, like when I train in the morning, bro, and I'm just fucking through the roof.
Yeah.
Like full, all natural, all me, and being clear up here and not being controlled by shit that they put here to fucking control us and fuck up in the first place.
Yeah.
That's the goal.
Yeah, 100%.
That's the goal, bro.
You know, I'd seen you pop up a few times on socials and stuff, and then bang, I seen you on the brother Soul. Shout out Soul, mutual friend of ours.
Yeah.
I seen you pop up on his podcast and listened to your whole story, bro. And I was like, fuck, you know, I'll resonate so much with this guy, you know, and then started following you and whatnot. And if I can be completely honest, and like fucking, I'll say this without you in the room, bro, your videos motivate the fuck out of me. And it's not because you're fucking putting the front on or because you're completely natural, you speak calmly, you're not one of those fucking, you know what I'm trying to say. I don't want to say it, but you know what I'm trying to say. You know, you're completely natural, bro. You know, you're fucking, like me and my brother Ryan there, was only talking today, bro. He knew he was coming over to come on and stuff. He's one of my best mates up here, and he follows you too. And he recently shared one of your videos on his story, the one with the jug.
Oh yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Just simple shit like that. You know, most people would probably just scroll past it, but if you watched it, it's like wow. You know, it's just the most simplest little fucking activity. Yeah. Just hits you so hard, you know. I love it, bro. You're
it, bro.
Yeah, no worries, bro. But you know, really, it motivates you, bro. And seeing you run in the rain and shit, and that's what we'll get into now. You know, or obviously you had a fucked up past, and you know, very destructive, and you've experienced most drugs. You've OD'd. Yeah. Sorry to hear about that too, brother.
That's all good, bro. I did that, yeah?
Yeah, that's right.
It wasn't your fault. It wasn't my mum's fault.
No, that's
no one
right.
else's. I chose to do that shit.
Yep.
And this is what can be the outcome. I don't base anything on luck, so I won't say lucky. I'm grateful that I come out of that with nothing wrong with me. Yeah. Because they said to my mum, he could wake up and because you're frying your brain, yeah?
Yeah, bro.
So you might not move your left side of your body, anything. So I'm very grateful for that, but sorry, I'll let you keep going.
Yeah, no, I was just like I was telling you about my overdose on the same thing, you know, like the young bloke that I did it with, bro, didn't make it, you know, and I witnessed it right in front of me. We were literally sitting in the room with this dead guy for like 15 minutes before the ambos got there, you know, and it's just horrific. And I'll quickly just say, and the reason I speaking about this, I went on the one-day retreat there with Sol and Mitch Curry there the other day, man. Done the breath work at the end, and I hadn't done that yet. That you know, it's a big thing going around now, the breath work, you know, the 9D breath work or whatever. And oh man, I'm literally getting goosebumps now just thinking of it. And that's what came up, and I haven't even been thinking about it. This is like fucking nearly 10 years ago it happened. Yeah. I haven't even been thinking about it. I haven't thought about it for years. And then I'm in this fucking trance, whatever fucking Mitch did to me, bro. I don't know what he did to me, but I'm in this full-blown trance. My hands and everything were all tingling, and on my face and lips and everything was like, felt like I was about to pass out almost. Yeah. All I could think about and all I could see was this guy's face, and, you know. But that's gone a little bit off track anyway.
No. Yeah. Just keep going with that, bro, because that's how you felt at that time, and that's what it did to you.
Yeah, it was. And that's why I've brought it up again today, is because that's what that breath work did to me. It brought that, of all things, you know, I've got a lot of trauma tucked away there, but of all of it, that's what popped up, and it was, it was crazy, bro. Like
that's what you're saying too, or what I was saying. That's how it can get. You know what I mean?
That's what we're saying. That's right.
That's how it can get. That's the full extent. If you want to push the fucking buttons, and you know,
be prepared to fucking die.
Yeah. Like if you just don't know. Some people can take one thing and happen. Some can push the limits and get their heart to probably higher than they will ever get at exercising.
Yeah, that's right.
And they do that over and over and over again, and they're still okay. So it's like you're dancing with the devil.
Perfect words, brother.
You're dancing with the devil every time you do it. And I think we don't realise that at the time. No one does. Yep. And then until that happens, and I still wasn't fucking smart enough to go, okay, you should probably just never do anything like that again.
Yeah.
But you don't. You
No,
think
you
you're
don't.
fucking invincible.
You do, and you can't picture a life without it when you're on it.
No.
Do you know what I mean? You can't. But I suppose we'll talk about. I want to hear actually, because I don't really quite understand or haven't really heard. What made you fucking transform into the man you are now?
Change? I was at work at the time. I was away, bro, and we had a fucking very big night on the piss, on the bags. I got up, bro, and I was overweight.
Yeah, I have seen photos. Yeah, it spun me out to see photos of you like that. Yep.
Very overweight. Got up, didn't slept through my alarm or whatever. Late for.
Yep.
Probably skipped that day, but I just remember getting up, looking in the mirror, bro, and just crying because I was scattered, fucking hungover, and just looked at myself and said, "You're a fucking piece of shit, cunt.
Yeah.
You are crying, blah blah blah."
Light bulb moment.
Yeah, and I just kept saying that in the mirror, and then from that day, that day changed, and the next day just went, "Fuck it, this is what I got to do."
Yep.
And just slowly, bro, slow and fucking.
Well, how long ago are we talking?
Oh, yeah.
In other words, how clean are you from that shitty life? You know,
Well, my nephew's 4 and he's never seen me hold a drink.
Yeah.
So
awesome.
Yeah, and he never will.
Yep.
He doesn't know me as that person.
Yep.
He calls me Kunkle.
Yeah.
He can say Uncle now, but Kunkle Kieran, Uncle
Yep.
Kieran. No,
Yep.
It's just Kunkle, and it'll always be that.
Yeah, that's cool, bro.
And he never seen me hold a drink in my hand, nothing. He doesn't. All he knows is this person that you see now, which that's what I want, and then my son to know too.
Yep.
You know.
Yep.
And yeah, so it's been at least. I've had one episode on the piss since then.
Yep.
You know, one thing, but yeah, that day, bro, that was a light bulb moment where I fucking woke up and I was like, nah, something's got to fucking change, and then that was that slow grind, bro. Just every day.
Yeah, yeah.
Just
now, you mentioned before we jumped on the podcast too that you know what I mean. You've obviously KPhit. We'll talk about that first. What's KPhit, bro?
So KPhit, I started that off. Yeah, started that Instagram and started that because it's like KP's my initials anyway.
Yep.
And then the fit is PHIT instead of fit, so I just did that.
Yep.
And then started rolling with that, bro. I was already, so I just started posting the fitness videos and stuff, bro, pretty much.
Yeah, yeah.
And then from there, I was just building myself, and I still am.
Yeah.
I'll continue to work on myself to the day I die.
Yep.
And yeah, just slowly. But what happened with this, I started an Instagram, KPhit. It got shut down. And I was speaking to the missus about this the other day. I wasn't going to start this new one. I was just going to fuck it.
Yep.
What if I didn't? The amount of fucking messages I get from people like yourself that said you're motivated by the videos.
Yep.
These people all over the world or anywhere saying their videos is what has got them up. Or I get random messages saying, like, I'm 2 weeks clean, I'm 2 months clean.
Yep.
And to think, what if I didn't do that?
Yep.
You know, and that's just how it started. I just started just by showing my journey and what I've been doing and my transformation over these years. And it's all natural, bro. I don't take anything but whole foods.
Yep.
Creatine, and sometimes have WPI protein.
Yep.
Everything's off whole foods, bro.
Yeah, unreal, bro. And you've got a mad fucking physique out of it, bro. Like,
thanks, bro.
You know, I watch you do them leg ups and shit, bro. You know, fucking, I couldn't do one to save myself. But
yeah, it could, but it could. It's just,
I know it could, bro. I know I can do anything, brother.
Exactly.
100%, but
it's up here.
It is, bro.
And
everything's up there.
It takes time. It takes time. These people telling people the bullshit online about, you know, a lot of these people want to sell them shit that it's not real. It's not realistic.
Yep.
You know, be realistic about what, you know, the goals that you're trying to chase.
Yeah.
Like, how many times do you think I wanted to give up with blisters on my feet and being overweight? That's how I started running. I had to walk. I walked 500 meters, walk back. That was my K.
Yep.
2 days later, 500 back.
Yep.
This is, I'm talking about that slow step on the ladder and shit, what I talk about.
Yep.
And then I ran, you know, however many months later, I ran 500, walked back 500.
Yep.
And you keep going, then it's 2K, 3K, 4K. I got to 5, maybe got to 7 or 8. my mate's brother said to me, "Oh, let's do a fun, like just me and him do a half marathon."
Oh, yeah.
I thought, fuck me, like that's 21K. You're kidding yourself.
Yep.
No way. So I told a few people, I don't like telling people stuff unless I do it.
Yep.
You know, I want to do it, and then
man,
you can
you
talk about it. Anyway, 5 days out from, I think it was a Saturday we're supposed to do it. He gets called back out to go work at Bathurst.
Oh, yeah.
He goes, "I can't do it." I said, "What do you mean?" He goes, "I'm going back to work." I went, "Fuck. All right." And I'd told people I'm doing it. So 3 a.m. I got down to Currumbin and ran from there all the way down past Tweed Hospital and back, and I was back before sunlight. I did that all on my own, and I never ran anything, I can't be honest, of the actual Ks prior. Maybe, like I said, 7 to 8, maybe 10 before.
Yep.
I did that all on my fucking own, and 99% of my training, or 90% now, is done alone, bro.
Yep.
And that's where I built, and why I speak about the physicality has to come first.
Yep.
Then your mental health will be better from moving your body.
100%.
Then you'll get a mindset that, depending on what you want to do, like that will, you know, help you overcome certain brick walls that to other people from a fetal position seem like fucking Q1.
Yeah. I feel like so obviously I went to jail and whatnot, got a big wake up call, you know, of like living a better life and that once I got out, whatever. Started going hard at the gym, you know. I had a good couple of years there at the gym, looked good, fucking and whatnot, and then obviously, you know, went back to my old ways, and I've done that a couple of times, right? And this time around, bro, like you said, I'm 4 months fucking clean again from like a 6-month relapse, hardcore too, you know, harder than I've ever went in the past, and you know, and all due to a relationship breakdown, and there can be all the excuses. I still chose to do it, you know, but I've found, bro, like I've never been an early morning person ever in my life. Since getting off at that last time, bro, I can't help. My body clock wakes up at 4 o'clock every morning. Yeah. I'm down the beach, bro, at 5 o'clock. You know what I mean? I'll probably try and force myself to lay in bed for another half hour, but I can't. I've just got to get up, bro. You know, and I don't know what it is, but motivation.
You got that fire burning in your belly, bro.
Yeah, and I go down to the beach. I walk like probably 3K, jog a little bit. I've only just started to jog a little bit, and watch the sun come up every morning, bro.
Nothing better.
All for this though. That's what I do it for me head, bro, and it's fucking better than any antidepressant I've ever had in my life, you know. And I've been on off the fucking antidepressants my whole life. Unbelievable. It is unbelievable what physicality can do to your fucking mind, eh?
Yeah. And the thing is, you can't sell that though, yeah?
No.
Could you imagine trying taking 50% of the pharmaceuticals money, or saying just move your body, get some sunlight,
exactly,
drink water, whole foods?
Yep.
You'd be running on the path and say, "Oh, KPhit's just broken his neck." What do you mean?
Exactly.
He broke his neck, yeah.
Yep.
But that's what would happen if you could sell that. That's what would happen, because you can't take that much money off them. But that's what it is. That's how simple it can fucking be, bro.
Yeah.
You can go from being fucked on drugs, any other pharmaceuticals, antidepressants, whatever, and you just said it yourself. Now you wake up at the same time. You probably don't even need your alarm, because you just
literally don't have an alarm, bro.
You just move your body. You walk, you run a bit, and that's that. Step on the ladder each day. So if you do another step, another K, another rep, anything, then the day before, you're still moving forward.
Yeah, that's right. Even just getting up next day and doing it again.
And again.
That's right, yeah.
And all of a sudden, you go, fuck. Like, what was all that shit before?
Yeah.
Well, it was just the drugs and everything else and all the other shit controlling you.
Yep.
And you don't, as we said, you don't need to do much. You just need to get out there.
Yeah.
And all that stuff, the anxiety and all that shit people say they have, whatever it is, it just slowly goes away, bro.
That's right, and it's like it's all just in your mind, bro. Now, I've seen a few of your tattoos and shit, bro. You fucking believe in a higher power.
God or?
Yeah, whatever it is.
Universe. I've got some God.
Yeah,
okay.
Godly
like tattoos, but they were young, so.
Yeah, okay, yeah.
But,
I'm the same, bro. Whatever it is, you can call it God. I don't.
Yeah.
I know what it is, brother, but it's something, and
Yeah.
whatever it is, it's fucking real.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Is that how you see it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I believe in the universe. I was guess back to where we started, Māori culture out there. Aunties and uncles very, religious and stuff like that. Probably aware. So that was there as I was young, and then, as I got older, I just got a few tats that were. I wanted a heaven and hell theme down my whole body.
Yep.
Sort of fucked that up. But anyway, now I believe in the universe, bro. What you speak will come into existence.
Yep.
And
the law of attraction. Right?
Yeah, what you telling yourself. If you're telling yourself, I can't do that, you're not going to fucking do it.
Have you read the book The Secret?
Nah. No.
Bro, it's talks like I'm not a reader at all, bro.
Yeah.
I've never probably read 2 books in my whole life. One of them was in prison, and it's a book called The Secret. It's not a fucking novel, or it's like a documentary type book.
Yeah.
There's a movie too, actually. It's on YouTube, bro. It's an old school movie, and it's literally just telling, they call it the law of attraction, where you can achieve anything you want if you just keep telling yourself, and you feel like you've already achieved it. You literally got to feel those feelings like you've already got it.
Yeah.
Just keep feeling, and it eventually comes, bro. It's like, it's factual.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? Exactly what you're saying, believe in the universe,
Yeah.
It's so real, man. I've like, it's like manifesting.
Manifestation. Yeah. And that all comes from what you were just talking about before, in here.
Yeah, that's right.
And it's all, when you put it in a simple form, that's all it is. It's your brain.
Yeah.
Because your body will only give up when your brain gives up.
Yeah.
And what you're telling yourself, you'll become. And if you say you can't, you won't.
Yeah, that's right.
If you want that, you'll get it. Like
even right down to little things, and it says that in this book, right? It's like saying, I can't wait for this to happen. I can't wait. It'll take longer.
Yeah.
Tell yourself, I can wait. I can wait before you know it, the time's come. Just a simple little example, little
thing. It's crazy, the power of the brain and all that shit. Universe, whatever you want to believe in yourself. Firstly, believe you can do anything. There's no fucking limitations. If it's humanly possible, like I said on Soul's thing too, and like I say to everyone, if it's humanly possible, you can do it, I can do it, anyone can do it. You just need to put in the time, the work, the effort, and if it gets hard, don't fucking give up. Keep pushing, keep going forward. Use your affirmations, your manifestations. It will happen. All the biggest sports stars talk about it. All these people talk about it. They don't get paid to fucking talk about it.
No, that's right. Yeah.
There's a lot of them. I'll use McGregor as an example here.
Yep.
The first thing that comes to mind. His missus was paying for him to fucking train.
Yeah, it's mad documentary, isn't it?
But you know what I mean?
Yep.
And he's that prime example, bro. You speak that shit into existence.
Yep.
And you can do
a perfect
anything,
example, bro. Yeah.
Anything you want.
Yeah, literally, yeah. It's crazy, bro. And do you believe, though, there's always, no matter how focused and how, mind strong you are, and like you're just saying, you can do anything.
Yeah.
You've always got that negative thing trying to push its way in.
Yeah. That will always come. There's always something there. There's always some... There's always a brick in
opposition.
There's always something there.
Yeah.
It's your next moves that's gonna, are the key things.
Yeah.
I mean, you can either give up on that just because there was a brick wall, there's a roadblock, or there was the hill was too big or whatever, or you can try and maneuver around that thing. But there'll always be something trying to pull you down, pull you back, pull you away from where you're trying to go.
Yep.
And like we said before about those young lads between 14 and 18.
Yeah.
There's going to be a lot of shit fucking pulling you.
Exactly right.
And you have to...
As a parent that has a child that is about to go into her teens.
Yeah.
And, the parent being myself that has fucked up through those crucial years.
Yeah.
It's something like I'm already talking to her about it. You know what I mean? Like even little things like, like wanting to go and hang out at Westfield with her friends, she's 12.
Yeah.
Like, all right, I'll drop you there and I might go for a walk through the shopping centre and come back. And that's how I am. Because I don't want her to be that nerdy kid that's not allowed to do anything, because I know what that felt like too, but at the same time too, bro, I want her, she is very mature for her age. You'd think she was 16 already, and even looks 16.
Yeah.
But that's what I'm just still trying to drill into her head is, there's always going to be, because she gives up on a lot of things easily, or switches up on what she likes doing and this and that.
Yeah.
One thing she's good at, bro, and you mentioned it before, touch. She plays women's touch, bro, and just fucking kills it. She's fit as and one thing I wanted to do, bro, is stick to her sport, and not let this shitty
pull you the other way.
And it's getting to that age now. She's just started high school and that.
Yeah.
And it's getting to that age where I'm a bit like a little bit worried, And obviously she's shared between me and her mum, so I'm not in her life.
Yeah, 20.
But credit to her mother. Her mother's a good parent. That's probably, a bit more stricter than I am. Yeah. That's just a perfect example right there. Is having me being a parent to a child that age. I've got that opportunity now to point them and hold them in that direction.
Yeah, 100%. You know what I mean? And that's you taking accountability now or over these years to then have that effect on her to not go certain ways.
Yeah.
Because just as easy it is to say, bump them this way, like that's the wrong way over there.
Yep.
Like you're not with them 24/7 either.
No,
and that's right. What happens. Oh, I'm staying at such and such's house. They got the lenient parents.
Yeah.
So then they're at the Westfield.
Yeah.
And then they're in a car, and then you know how it goes, bro. Same story. Yep. So it's a very, I'm gonna have to face that eventually soon too.
Yeah.
Hopefully in the next whatever years it may be.
Yep.
And so it's a very hard line to tiptoe, I guess, because you definitely don't want them to have any of the experiences or any shit that we've been through or people we know been through.
That's right.
But you also come to that point is like, trying to bump them that way.
Yeah.
Eventually you miss and they go under
or try to bump them that way too much makes them inquisitive about that way.
Yeah. Why is Dad doing that? We shouldn't go do
and
that.
Some people don't agree with the way I've gone about it, but both my elder girls, 10 and 12, they're both very mature for their age.
Yeah.
They know the truth about what's happened to me recently, they don't know the details or like what I was using or anything like that but they knew that Dad fucked up, and a lot of people think, oh, you don't fucking tell your kids that sort of shit. Well, mate, I was a smart kid at that age and I had a drug addict mum, and
you know what's going on.
I knew what was fucking going on, bro, but I was lied to. No, lied to for years and years, but I was switched on, brother. I knew. For 12 years, and that's what I speak to my partner about now. Like, I say, she says, she doesn't know what you're talking about. Or I say, how did you used to think when you were 12? Can you remember when you were 12?
Yeah.
How did you used to think? Fuck, bro, I had fucking root on my 13th birthday. Do you know what I mean? Like, it's just scary, bro. It's scary being like, I still feel like I'm fucking 25. You know what I mean? And I'm nearly fucking 33, and it's like, I've got a kid in high school. It's like, you know what I mean?
So
it's like you've just put it perfectly as those, 5 or 6 years of crucial decisions.
Yeah, 100%. Which will then affect, could be the course of your life.
Yeah, you might miss out on this and miss out on that, but it'll fucking reflect on you.
And it'll come back tenfold.
That's right.
You know what I mean?
Yep.
And you look at any of the, young people that have done that. I know a few, for example, too, that didn't go to the parties. They might have went to like one in every whatever, or whatever it was. They all played footy, or they all, everyone made it. Anyone that's probably ever played what you call footy, AFL, whatever.
Yeah, yep.
Look at all them.
Yep.
Be the same thing. They chose to just, limit to what they were doing.
Yeah.
Or someone around them, parents, could have been godparents, whoever, aunts, uncles.
Yep.
Just limit to what you're doing at this crucial point.
100%.
Because then it's going to come back tenfold.
Yep.
Whatever it is you're doing, it doesn't have to be sport, but
just whatever. That's right.
To us, that's what happened, bro. Because a lot of them lads are around our age, Dusty, whoever.
Yep.
They all. You have to make a decision. You have to make some choices.
Yeah, that's right.
Is that going to be what you want to fucking do?
Yep.
Or is this what you want to do?
Yep. 100%, bro.
But with that guidance, bro, like yourself, being a good father and taking that accountability and awareness to be open and honest and tell the truth.
Yeah.
Because they are smart, probably even younger than that.
Oh, yeah.
A lot of videos going around. If they got shit online, it's not hard to know what something is.
That's another thing too, you know. She's got Snapchat. That's all. She doesn't have Facebook or Insta or fucking TikTok and none of that shit. But she wants it so bad too. And I give credit to her mum, bro, because her mum fucking tore my head off when she was on to me and wanted a fucking Snapchat account. All the friends had it. And I was all right. I said, so I can monitor it though and whatever. Her mum ripped my head off for it, you know, which at the time I was like, oh, fuck you. Like, you know, she's growing up. Give her a bit of a social life. And but I'm, like I said, credit to her mother because she said, no, we'll see when on your 13th birthday, we'll see how you are. That, you know, she's good at it. It's a bit like, and I agree now too, you know, and I don't like to tell Marley, my daughter, that, but I do agree with the mum. It's the shit you see online these days, bro. Especially Instagram, you know, like I've come across shit recently on my Insta, bro, of like brutality, like fucking, how the fuck's that shit elite, like, you know?
Pop up.
Yeah,
and then like, you get like, and a post deleted or something for swearing or...
Exactly.
You know?
Yeah.
It's really
I literally seen this fucking post pop up, like, and I don't watch this shit or nothing. It's not like it's, like it's, you know, it's just popped up and that's what I'm talking about because it spun me out, like, what the fuck? But like, it's like they're inside a building, like a pub or something, it looks like, and they're filming this guy out through the window and it's fucking going off his head and he comes up and he sees them filming him and he punches the window, bro, and you just see it slice him here, like, literally you just see it lay open and then he sort of just looks at it and
just flapping around
and then just drops and then it sort of switches to the aftermath of, like, shows the big pool of blood where he was laying and it comes up. Unfortunately, he did not make it. And it was like, fuck. And it's real footage. It ain't no fake shit, you know? Like, fucked if I want my kids seeing that.
Yeah, coming across that, especially at that age when there's, you know, just as much on YouTube and that now too that they can come across.
That's right, bro.
Yeah, like what you're doing is perfect, bro. You've taken that accountability. We've all made mistakes.
Yeah.
We're all gonna. You're all gonna. But you're going to take some lessons or losses.
That's right.
Learn from it and don't fucking keep doing it.
Yeah.
And then eventually you pass it down because you've been through the fucking wall, bro.
That's right.
And you don't want them to do it.
Yeah, that's right.
So anything you can do now, like we just spoke, to better their future is the goal, and that's what I'm trying to do. I'm trying to create that generational change. Yeah. Whether that starts with the youth, whether that starts with a father, mother, whoever, anyone. Yeah. To then have this shit going for generations, to know that you can rewrite your book at any stage, but also hopefully you don't have to.
Yeah, that's right.
Hopefully it's just a big fucking mad book.
Exactly, yeah.
You know?
Yeah, full of fucking good shit.
Yeah.
100%, bro. But, again, in saying that too, you can't experience good without bad.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? And it's the same with everything. Like, you can't experience light without dark. You know, like, you hear Soul talk about it a lot, and it's so true, bro, in every aspect. Yeah. So, I just hope that,
there's different sides of dark, though, yeah?
That's right.
It doesn't have to be drug
our sort of dark.
Yeah, fueled with, pain, traumas and this and that.
Exactly.
Like, if you're... whoever, I'll just use my nephew as an example. He's in a Muay Thai gym at 4 years old.
Yeah, tough. Yeah.
Now, his dark stuff might be losing like a belt fight or, Queensland, whatever. Yeah. That could be a dark thing, or breaking a fucking leg, or...
Yeah, that's right.
It doesn't have to be this shit.
No, that's right.
You know what I mean? It's not just... There is going to be
we talk about dark as because we've had a drug-fucked past, That's right, or it
could come in other shapes and forms.
So many different ones. That's right.
I could die, and then which I will. Yeah, we're all going to die.
Exactly.
So that's why I do what you want. Make sure it's good, because we're all going to go, and everyone watching is going to go, sad as it is.
Yep.
But I might go, and then because he looks up to me, and we've been like that since he was 0.
That could be dark,
and then that's a dark for him. And there's no winners in that either. Just because ours was dark that side and they're dark. Everyone's been through something.
That's right, bro.
It doesn't have to be this stuff. It can be fucking anything.
Yeah.
Just depends what that dark was for you. So
100%, bro.
That's how I see it.
Yeah, I do too, bro.
Fueled on that.
Yep.
There could be many ways, shapes, and forms of like darkness. That darkness, but still, you know, to have that adversity to get through that situation to come out the other end.
Yeah, 100%, bro. You couldn't have put it in better words, you know. It's but yeah, it's hopefully that book's just fucking full of good shit at the end of the day. Yeah.
But
tell us a little bit about the brand, bro. Breaking Bricks.
Breaking Bricks.
Yeah. What it is?
Inspired that.
Yeah. What inspired it? Yeah.
It was sort of something I came up with, obviously on my own.
That's sick too. I want to get a hat off you too, bro.
Yeah. So there's many terminologies for what everyone uses.
Yeah.
Don't forget everything that everyone's using now, no matter what it is. If it's stoic, if it's this, if it's that. Blueprints have been printed for 2,000 plus years.
Yep.
You know, whatever it is. And then I decided I actually fucked up with this. I made a design. I went and got a one-off hat printed.
Yep.
I haven't told anyone this actually, but anyway. So I got this one-off hat printed. It wasn't this one. Got one printed off, and I got it. And bro, it shattered me little heart. It was not what I thought it was going to be.
Aye.
And I was like, fuck. But what it did, it was about a minute. You know, I was like, oh, fuck, you know, I spent money on this, blah, blah, blah. Sort of went down, but me being me, turned around in positive, got back home and come up with another design, which was this one.
Yep.
And then it's just about what we spoke about before is, you know, breaking through brick walls as they come at you. There's
hurdles.
Hurdles,
yeah.
You know, whether it's mental, physical barriers, whatever it is.
Them sharp turns and
whatever,
setbacks.
All that, bro. And just that never give up attitude. And a brick wall, no matter what it is, physical, mental, whatever, for someone in the fetal position, is going to look huge. Even this table, if you're laying on the ground, looks big.
Yep.
A lot of surfers, anyone would know, if you're laying flat, you know, how big a wave is when you're on your stomach, whatever. So the brick wall looks huge if you're laying down in fetal position. But you get up and you go for that little walk.
Yep.
You do that over and over again. These brick walls start getting smaller.
Yeah,
they're not big as Q1 anymore.
No, that's right.
And that's what you can start. You know, you can start getting.
You start coming to the floors, bro.
Yeah, you start coming down, and you know, I have a team now too. I've got a group of lads that we're together all the time, and we're anything that needs to be done, and that's why I talk about picking up the sledgy. Because they need something done, bro. I'll fucking work through smoko, lunch, dinner, until that brick wall's broken down. Whether that's something, you know, that they've got going on up here or whatever it is, we'll get it done, and that's for everyone too.
Yep.
Just break it down on how it needs to play out, and just fucking grab your sledge, grab your hammer, and that's what it's about.
Yeah.
And just chip away at it. It might not come down the first time. It might.
That's powerful,
bro. You know, it might come down though, and then you get through that. There could be another one. This one might have Rio in it or whatever.
Yeah, I love how you put it into a construction sort of.
Yeah, but because it is a brick wall, and, you know, and they're not always easy to fucking whack down. Or then sometimes you might want to call a few of the boys in because this one's a tough one. Yeah, I'm gonna need you, lads. Same thing. Just keep going. Here's a sledgy. Or we got 3. There's 4 of us. All right, someone stand by when someone else needs to swing the cunt, bro. Yeah. Let's get it down. And then we move forward from this, and you're stronger for it.
Yeah.
And that's what I built this brand on, and hence with the monkey, I got asked the other day, why a monkey?
Yeah, I was thinking the name, yeah.
I said, why not? Have you ever seen a monkey run around with a hammer? And he said, nah. I said, well, exactly. It was something I wanted to do. I thought it was pretty cool with him holding a hammer.
Yep.
That's the whole thing. Like, what else could you really break a brick with as a monkey that's not a machine or anything?
Yeah.
Baseball bat probably would snap.
Yeah,
eventually.
Yeah, that's
you
right.
Get a sledgehammer or whatever, you know, knock it down.
And if you understand exactly everything you're saying right now, because you have put it in a bit of a way of like I said, in a construction type of way.
Yeah.
But if you understand and see through that, bro, that is so fucking powerful.
Thanks, bro.
It really is, and I do. Yeah. I understand it deep. You know what I mean? It's fucking awesome, bro. It is so good. It's so motivating. It's so, you know, it's fucking wicked, bro.
Yeah, thank you. So that's what that was, and just going to continue to do that as my, you know, sort of my personal brand behind KPhit.
Yep.
And, you know, showing people, hopefully everyone starts rocking it, whatever. But
showing people, look, it's a sick logo too. I can see it popping off as like a a clothing brand, bro. You know,
thanks.
Like definitely, I really can. Like, especially around here in the Goldie, you know, especially with the spray jackets and shit.
Yeah, that's something I try to do different too. There's a lot of hoodies, there's everything's oversized now too.
Yeah.
I don't like that shit, bro.
Yeah, the big box tees.
Yeah, I'm guessing you don't too. A lot of
yeah,
lads
I'll wear
the
a few
same.
box tees and shit,
Yeah.
but I know what you mean. Yeah.
Yeah. So I was like, no, I'll just do something, you know, that I want to do, that I thing. And then same with the spray jacket. It's like, fuck it, what can I do? Something a little bit different, you know?
Yeah, and it's almost taken fashion back a bit, bro.
Yeah,
Do you know what I mean? Because, like, I know in Tassie too, spray jackets there for a bit, with fucking Nike and this and that. They were a big thing too there for a while.
Yeah.
And then that's gone.
Yeah.
Now it's not but you see that, like, and when I'm pointing over there at your spray jacket,
Yeah.
it looks sick, bro. It really does. You know,
It's
what I
pretty
mean?
full on, isn't it?
Yeah,
Like,
I love it. How big it is and shit. It looks
Yeah.
mad. I seen you put a post up for it the other day, and
Yeah.
it's I love it. It's wicked.
So-
and then the medium behind it's just tops it. You know, it's like
Yeah, and just knowing if people want to represent that or rock that, it's not just for me. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's for them if they've been through anything or they're still going through shit. Because
Yeah.
I'm still going through shit.
Yep.
I'm not fucking, it's not rainbows and lollipops out there.
that's right.
It's not. There is a lot of light from what I do now. There's a good nearly every day. But I block my mornings out just like you from 3 till 6, sometimes longer,
Yep.
for me.
Yep.
To have my cup like this, so then I can give out in my four walls, and then out to whoever else needs it. But that brand is just for me. It's for anyone going through some shit,
Yeah.
and you're gonna go through it again.
Yep.
But how prepared are you on the next brick wall from what you've done from the one before?
Exactly right. Yeah, yeah. Or how much have you learnt from it?
Yeah,
even? Do you
yeah.
know what I mean? Like,
Yeah,
yeah. It's very powerful, bro. The true meaning behind it, you know. And I love how you've put it into, you know, a tradie type of fucking
or
context.
proper terminology, what most people would understand.
Yeah, exactly. Yep, it's perfect,
And
bro.
that's because that's all I did prior to this too. You know what I mean? You do construction or whatever it is.
Yep.
And you know what it's like. Any lads out there that have been on a jackhammer or anything like that, bro, you know what it's like.
Bro, I went back to
Rio.
work. I went back to work proper today for the first time. I've been doing a few caddies and on and off jobs, a bit of videography work and that throughout the last sort of 12 months since Bub was born. And bro, I went back and it was just literally the first couple of hours. It was just like, oh, what am I fucking slaving my ass away for doing this shit, you know? But yeah. But anyway, it pays the bills.
Yeah,
you know?
that's it, bro. That's it.
And it
Keep
is
the roof over the head, food on the table, you know, kids, everything. You got to do what you got to do as a man.
Yeah.
I'm going through a few things at the moment, decisions I've got to make and stuff, and you you know, I'm going to be fucking honest with this because no one knows this either. I banged out that, what did I do? Was that not today, yesterday, 13 early, bro, early as it was raining too, ran up Hedges Ave. Bro, I was just
13 kilometres.
Yeah, I think it was 13. I can't remember exactly, but I've done a lot of Ks. I'm about to hit, tomorrow I'll hit 300 Ks already this year on the trot. But bro, I was crying up Hedges Ave for majority of that run. Thank God it was dark still, and thank God it was raining. Not really, I don't really give a fuck.
Yeah, but while you're on that note, bro, so my bro Ryan, he's right into his running and that, and he only said to me today on the phone about because he goes for big long runs and shit, does 10Ks and that all the time, and he reckons, you know, once you start getting around that 10K mark, the emotions that go through you,
it's that,
like he said, like he does the same. He'll literally cry and shit, and while he's running and shit. And for someone like me that doesn't run, I'll be honest, it sounds a bit weird.
Yeah, it does, but that just hit me then. This is why I love this shit. This is why I love being alive. It's because I love learning, but the exact same thing he's talking about is almost the exact same roller coasters you have with drugs.
Yeah, right.
That just hit me, bro.
Yeah.
Because I use run. I don't necessarily like running. Everyone thinks I fucking love running. I don't necessarily like it. I use it as a tool as I could do it for longer, like bigger Ks, to break myself down from all my old shit.
Yep.
A lot of big runs I fucking cry. But now that he said that, and now that cross-reference with the drugs, it's almost exactly the same, bro. You go through these fucking twists and turns of emotions
during the run,
bro. But I've never brought it back to like the roller coaster runs you have with your mental health and drugs and shit, because it's a
completely opposite.
Because you're euphoric though, because you're running and it's a therapeutic hurdle because you're putting yourself through physical work.
Yeah.
But you're getting shit out, and he's right, bro. That's what happens.
Yeah, you'll love watching this, bro.
You'll go through a huge high, you'll be no while you're running, and then something else comes in, and you're either just locked in for the next 4 or 5K. Then you might get sad or something, or some shit will come back, bro, and whatever it is, just burst out tears, bro, while you're running, whatever, and then you might hit another high. But if you haven't heard of a runner's high, that's usually when you finish.
Yeah.
And that's usually, me personally, that's anything over sort of, I don't know, unless I do a fast 7 or 8, it's usually anything over like those 10 plus. When you're back, bro, you just, like you've eaten a fucking big batch of Carl Williams pingers, bro.
Yeah.
Just fucking.
Yeah, unreal.
That's what a runner's high is, bro, yeah. And that's a real thing. But I'm fucking so happy that you said that, because that's what it is. It's
and see, I literally, bro, and I'm sorry, brother, but I literally, when he said that today, and another one of our mates, Brycey, he does the same. He goes for huge, big 20Kers and shit. Yeah. And he used to say it to Ryan, and Ryan used to fucking laugh at him, And now Ryan's saying it to me, and I won't lie, I thought to myself, I didn't say it to him, but I thought to myself, fucking what, that's bro? Like, yeah, it is. I did. But now hearing it from yourself, bro, like, and wow, he's going to love hearing that.
Yeah, bro. So hopefully you're in that triangle then, yeah?
Yeah.
You're going to be the next one to do it, and then you'll tell the next person.
Yeah, that's right.
And they go, no, he's fucking weirdo. That doesn't happen. Yeah, bro, get out there on a trot.
Yeah.
Bang out some 10s and see what happens out there. Yeah. Guaranteed. Just as mad as that stuff, Sol and Mitch and all do with the breath work, but you combine all of that, bro. And that's what I was saying at the start. There's no fucking drugs that can do this shit.
Yep.
You can get it off a run, you can do weights, whatever, mixed martial arts, any of that shit, bro, the sunrise.
Anything that gets just down going.
And you combine that into one. That's what it is.
Yeah, unreal.
Yeah, it's
unreal, brother.
Life's beautiful, bro. It's been fucked, but I love it.
Yeah. Hey, bro, and you paid off, you look amazing, bro. You fucking...
Thanks, bro.
You really do, brother. Especially, after seeing your fucking before photos and stuff, like looking at your before photos and hearing your story and stuff now, I can sort of picture the bloke you were, if that makes sense, you know what I mean, in a way. It's been an honour having you on, brother. We're coming to an end, but a couple more things, brother. I want to, you've thrown advice out the whole way through, brother, but give us some crucial advice for somebody that's lived a similar life to you, gone from fucking... A lot of people, in saying that, a lot of people that, how can I say it, like, end up washed up on drugs and shit, they've always got that trauma story behind them.
Yeah.
It doesn't sound like you had too much of a trauma story, you had a good parents and a good family and shit like that, but...
To turn to why I chose that path?
Yeah.
I think you just... Yeah, I had very good parents,
Yep.
There's stuff I won't say on here. I just won't. I told you that before.
Yeah, of course, bro. Yeah, I'm the same,
But you have choices, yeah?
Yeah.
So I was choosing to do certain things, you know what I mean? And then I chose all that other shit right up to now choosing to come here with you.
Yeah.
And you choosing whatever, you know, that's why we're sitting here.
Yeah, that's right.
But yeah, there's stuff there that I'll never talk about.
Yeah, of course.
And that's me I never will. But yeah, I chose to do all those things.
Yeah.
And that's why I'm choosing to do all the things I do now.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, you're choosing to share your story.
Yeah, choosing to share that. But
do you know what I mean when I'm saying that though? You always do hear that. Myself, I'm one of them.
Yeah.
I've got that traumatic fucking... grew up in domestic violence and, or fucking...
Pretty sure everyone has domestic violence.
Yeah.
It wasn't uncommon to... That's why we're all...
And because back then it wasn't as bad as it was now. It was, at all. 100% I agree too.
And multi-families. I don't know. You're obviously probably very aware.
100%.
And it probably still goes on a lot worse over there than it does here for DVs and shit like that.
Oh, yeah. Yep.
So, that I'm not going to...
I understand, bro, 100%. But, what's some good advice then? Some solid advice you can throw out just for, maybe 13, 14-year-old just starting to dabble with bongs and fucking, what would you say to them? Starting to drink it.
My advice to them would be just think about where you want your future to go and who the people are around you or who are the people you look up to.
It's a hard one. I don't mean to cut you.
No,
It's a hard
right.
one when you say that because like you said at the start, your brain's not fully developed. At 13, 14 years old, you got no fucking idea. Most kids don't know what they want to hold in their future. And that's where it's hard. That's where you need that guidance. You know, I suppose. But
it's that's it though. Because if you're looking up to certain people that aren't doing the right thing or you're surrounded by that, unfortunately some people it is their parents.
That's right.
So it's very hard to get away from. Those kids usually do the opposite. The studies are probably, more than fucking 50% of them would turn away from that. I know a lot of people that had drunks, junkie mums, junkie fathers, whatever. They never did that shit.
Yeah, I do too. Yeah,
you know
I know. I'm the same.
So,
but also know a handful that have done it other ways.
Yeah.
Like myself.
So, But I think that, and you're at a young age too, but it's what you're surrounding yourself with. Because if they're looking up to certain people in certain things, or I know for a fact, a lot of young lads I run past, kids, bro, 2, 3, 4, 5, all the way up. You know what I mean? They're going like this. Who is it? Like, I'm not speaking highly myself. I'm a very humble person.
100%. I know what you're saying, though.
But I know for a fact that those kids are looking at me different to their dad or something.
Yeah, or whatever.
Because their dad's sitting there, whatever. So
yeah, and even when it comes to looking at you too, with your tats and stuff too, I suppose. But because it just made me think then, like I grew up. My old boy was a hard fucker, man. But reputation as a pub fighter, fucking, had that loud cunt in the pub.
Yeah.
But then I'd look at people's dads that are fucking, dressing in suits, going to fucking work, or you're driving along in the car, look out the window and see fucking a bloke running with his top off, and I'd think like, I resonate. I literally have vivid memories of that.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So it is hard to surround yourself with, depending on your environment at that age.
That's right.
But back to these and all that stuff. At that age, it's what are you following? Yeah,
we didn't have them at that age.
Yeah, I know, but these youth now that you asked about, what are you following? What are you doing? Like, if you're not doing some sort of sport, or if you're so angry at the world and this and get into a boxing gym, get into a Muay Thai gym. It'll teach you fucking discipline. It'll teach you respect. You show up with an ego, you're gone.
100%.
You fight outside of the gym, you're gone.
That's right. And that age too, I suppose, is a perfect age to get into a combat sport, because
best thing ever.
Yeah, because you are starting to go through puberty, you are starting to grow those hormones and emotions.
Exactly. And you can you're in a controlled environment there, you're learning a skill set that you'll have for life.
That's right.
And your friends then are other lads doing that.
Same thing.
So you aren't going out fucking up.
No, that's
because you want to be at gym the next day or whatever that is. So that's where I was sort of coming from.
Yep.
It might be hard, but there's also kids that may be doing it harder than others that could be accepted into these places, and you see stories all the time where they pull them off the street and that, and they're there, and then they're surrounded by good people.
Yep. Story
goes on, bro. That book's nice and clean then,
100%, brother. That makes fucking perfect sense. And
so,
look, bro,
just don't give up on yourself, bro.
Yeah, 100%.
Keep pushing, no matter what it is. Just keep going. If anyone ever needs anything, socials, KPhit.
That's where I was going to get at. Give a shout out in the socials, bro.
Yeah, KPhit at Instagram. I've got a TikTok. I'm not that present on there. Heavily involved on Instagram. If you need anything, if you're trying to beat addictions, if you're facing brick walls, anything like that, if you just need a chat, message, and just don't give up on yourself.
Awesome,
I've lost too many already, and I want to create that generational change, and that's what I'm here for, and that's what all sets my soul on for. So
yeah, well said, brother. It's been an honour having you on, bro. Honour to meet you, my brother. Appreciate it heaps. Too, and just before we wrap it up, bro, I just want to give the sponsors a shout out. We got Dan Eldridge up there, in far north with Eiffel Drive Club. We've got Benny Wolf down there in Tassie with Wolf's Painting. The lads down there in Adelaide with Inside Out Coaching, and last but not least, the brother Bo Woods. He's a fucking up-and-comer professional boxer in the super lightweight, brother.
Yeah, man.
Bo Woods with The Goods Clothing Co. Thank you very much.
Thanks,
KPhit. That's a wrap, guys. Hope you enjoyed it.